All right. Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Racers News Network Live. We got a lot of racing to talk about from this past weekend. Of course, we have the twin $10,000 races sponsored by DEWZEN LLC at Lebanon Valley. We also had the Uncle Buck's Pig Roast down at Cecil County. We got a lot of great stuff to talk about. Allie Pettit from DEWZEN's on here with us now. We should have Gary Simons coming on very shortly. To kind of wrap up the weekend's events. But how you doing, Allie?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Chris?
Good, good. So before Gary comes on, why don't you give us kind of a breakdown of your weekend?
Well, my weekend was great because I was at a race and it was our race. So that was super exciting. One of the ones that we were looking forward to. We were debuting Craig Monroe's daughter, Kristen, the car that they had built for her to license in. We were the ones to shake the rust off after it got built. So that was the second race that car's ever seen, second race weekend. And it got me one win light. I got myself one win light. The car was running great, actually. And we're just super thankful that Craig let us borrow that so we could have something to play with while we were down there. We were the slowest dragster in the box class, but that's okay. It just made it more of an adventure.
Well, you guys had great weather.
We did. We were super
all 3 days, which is like unheard of lately.
I know. And today I don't know how it is at Lebanon Valley, but here it's like gray and pouring and disgusting. So I'm super happy that we got the beautiful weather.
Absolutely. Like I said, I know Gary's supposed to be joining us. I guess there's already talk about expanding it for next year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm authorized to talk about that. I wish I would love to, but I want to wait for Gary to come back on and talk about that from his mouth, not mine. But we definitely are looking at maybe having this event again next year at Lebanon Valley.
200 car. Well, I don't know what the official car count for Friday was. I think it was what, 232 car classes, if I remember correctly.
I don't know those numbers. We need Gary to come on.
Okay.
There was a great car count though. There was a lot of people there and people that I didn't even really like. I guess I didn't expect them to show up. I figured it would be a lot more locals, but there were some people that, I mean, they do the bracket racing circuit and they were there and that was super exciting.
I know it was over 200 on Saturday and over 200 on Sunday. So that much I do know. But that's, I mean, over 400 cars for 2 days for that kind of dough is not a bad thing. And no. Putting your name out there and your reputation on the line for an event of that magnitude is pretty huge.
Yeah, I mean, we want drag racing to stay in the Northeast. We want big money bracket racing to come to the Northeast. We don't have too much of it around. So whenever there's an opportunity for us to step up and support that, there's no doubt we're gonna just jump right on it. And we know Vince puts on a great race. And we know Lebanon Valley, the crew there do an awesome job. So we had no doubt that was going to be a stellar show. Very
cool. Obviously, looking ahead to next week, are we going to be graced with your presence at New England Dragway?
Yes, like I want to be there. Just me and my skateboard probably, but I wish that the car that we were driving this weekend was a Super Comp competitor. That was the main goal, but so far we haven't gotten it in the 8s yet. So I'm not going to be a competitor, but I will be perusing the pits at some point, and you'll probably see me rolling around.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm gonna be there on Friday, and of course I picked the one crappy weather looking day, but hopefully again it pans out. So. This past weekend just wasn't meant to be for me, but that's okay. There's always next year, hopefully.
Timing is everything.
It is, and my timing absolutely sucked this past weekend.
Yeah, you had other priorities. It's okay, I get it.
Yeah. So while we're waiting on Gary, let me just pull up some results from this past weekend. Like I said, we had the twin 10Ks at the Valley. We had Uncle Buck's Pig Roast down at Cecil. And we also had there was a national event too. Hey, that's number 3 in our list, but we'll bump it up. So let's see. So this past weekend, Torrance and Tasca were on the tear. They were in Brainerd, Minnesota. Let's see. Top Fuel again. Like I said, Steve Torrance defeated Tony Schumacher. Bob Tasca took home the Wally in Funny Car, defeating Ron Capps, and the New England boy is on a tear. He's won three races this year. He's having a good season. Top Alcohol Dragster, Sean Cowie. Top Alcohol Funny Car, Shane Westerfield. Comp Eliminator, Brett Spear. Super Stock, Mike Manns. Stock Eliminator, Tracy Fairchild. Super Comp, Tony Leonard. Super Gas, Trevor Larson. And let me just finish this up. Top Sportsman, Brian Anthony. Top Dragster, Dylan Huff. Pro Mod, Ricky Smith. Mountain Motor Pro Stock, J.R. Carr. Pro Mod Snowmobile, Robbie Lowe. And D-Wagon Pro Mod Shootout, Chris Thorne. So there, we got to that stuff. Let's get to the important stuff. Gary, are you ready?
Boy, am I ready.
So you guys put on this little race sponsored by DEWZEN LLC this past weekend. You had, like I was telling Allie, obviously she was there, she knows. You had 3 great days of racing and you had 3 great days of weather.
Yes. I'm running out of words, but as you can tell, the voice is a little scratchy, but weather, maybe 4 degrees cooler would have been nice, but otherwise, yes, I will never complain about just weather and it being dry. Things were ideal. Actually, cars kept saying it's hot, but I'm fast, and that's what we like to hear. And the event within itself with DEWZEN, meeting that family and being able to have the opportunity to pit across from them, and they're great people. DEWZEN is on board for next year, but the event itself was flawless. It was flawless. It was a great success.
So let's kick it off with Friday. You had 32 car fields, is that correct?
We had 2 32 car fields and a 16 car field, what we call the low roller. So that's basically a little less money to enter, and mixed in the dragsters and the door cars. The other 32 car fields were the 32 dragsters and 32 box door cars, electronics. And I'll tell you, we got there ourselves about 2 o'clock, set up our table, and I think we told everybody 3. And they must have been sneaking in the back gate, Chris, because they were in line waiting for us as we drove by them. And Vince said, "Oh boy, we're got some work cut out." And we knew that we were ready for them. And thank God. Again, I said it all weekend. First off, you don't have a race without the drivers, but then the drivers respond the way they did. They made us look good, and I'm very grateful for that in Lebanon Valley. But with the 32 car fields, we got them all entered, put in the computer, and by 5 o'clock, you heard 2 cars side by side starting their testing, their time trials, basically warming up the track, warming up the cars. And I'm going to say, and don't quote me on this, probably around 6:15 was round 1. It was awesome. And it was round 1 went well through till about 9:45. The lights went out. We were done. Cars were all done. We handed out close to $18,000 combined with prize money, round money, I think I even gave away some of my own money in my pocket. I don't know. I just was handing it out because, we did some different things. And our goal was, winner, runner up, and some semis. So we did that. And then one of the classes, they decided to move a little more money back to the quarterfinals. And that allowed drivers to win some of their entry fee back. So sometimes in those classes, we allow the driver to make some of the decisions with the actual money they may potentially win.
Very cool. Did you have any cars on a waiting list for Friday?
Actually, we had everybody entered. We had low roller had a couple guys and girls on the alternates list, which we were able to insert. And then I think we had a couple sitting on the outside looking in. They were okay. They understood. They were there waiting, which was nice. Door car, complete fill. We did need a couple drivers. So a couple of low rollers were like, heck, I'll throw in the extra money and get in on that. So we had a complete 32 car field there. And the dragster, we had to move a low roller from the list up to, which was Natalie Mussolino, who didn't have much choice. We said, hey, you're going to race with the big boys and big girls. So she got in there, and basically it's a good opportunity for any driver, whether they be new in their car or, how it is. It's seat time is so important, and you get a chance on a Friday to get in with the big guns. It's a great opportunity for any driver.
Very cool.
You have to say that was a fun 32 car shootout. I should have made it a little bit further, but that was super fun. And the pace was great. The event was so smooth. Like, it really went so smooth, and the drivers really responded to their calls, and everything just went like awesome. I was impressed.
As it should, and I guess that's one thing with Lebanon Valley and ourselves, Vince and myself. We pride ourselves in, me being a former track operator. I think I'm always going to be a track operator, but and Vince, a stellar driver. Just ask him. But he's a great guy, a stellar guy. You put a driver together with a track operator, and it's, there's minds that are about, hey, what do we want to do? We want racing, we want it smooth, we want it safe, and we want to get done so we can hang out for a little bit, and again, it's the driver. The drivers responded so well. It went off without a hitch. And we handed out a bunch of money.
Magic potion.
What's that?
That seems to be the magic potion. The racers really putting on the races. We know what runs best. We know how to do it the right way. We know what other racers want. And then the operators have the management down pat.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Lebanon Valley, Wayne, I don't want to say leads with an iron fist, but I mean that with respect, because this is what he wants. And then we're in the lanes with that. We're out there and available. So if there's questions or concerns, and then again, answering the questions, and I say this all the time, before we get to the race, so that there's less gray area. That's huge.
That is huge. That's awesome.
Very cool. All right, Saturday, let's talk about it.
Hey, there's a face that wasn't there Saturday, mister.
All right.
Sorry.
I bow my head in shame.
It's okay.
And I'm pointing to the guilty thing over there that was in the closet that is now gone.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I became the PR guy, the camera guy, the water guy. I'll tell you a couple of nicknames I got, but we'll save that for later. And they were nice. They were nice nicknames.
They were good nicknames.
Yes, go figure, right?
Next year, I already told Allie, I said, I'm short of my house burning to the ground, I will be there.
Okay.
Next time we get free ice cream again, too.
I'll stop and buy you ice cream.
Oh, thanks.
That was something Saturday. It was pretty warm. So I decided I went over to get myself an ice cream. And I said, hey, from 1 to 2, let's open it up. Vince and myself. I didn't tell Vince, but we bought ice cream for the entire track.
That was so fun.
Very cool. Very cool. So like I said, moving on to the racing on Saturday, let's talk that.
oh, what's about 224 cars going down the track, you know, at 9 o'clock in the morning. The entries, again, the drivers responded. There's always a concern, like, boy, what are we going to have? You know, 150, 160 is a comfortable number. It's kind of the standard for us. And that's not saying we want more. We'll take less. We'll figure it all out in the end. What happened was the first thing in the morning, you come out, we tell them 7:30 and 7:15, there they are. And we like that. That's okay. So we shared coffee with them and a muffin and double entry. And the cars were these drivers. I guess I keep saying it, but they responded. We told them to be ready, get their cars teched. Some of them, you know, there's a standard out there how they do it. So that works out really good. And then 9 o'clock, fire them up, put them in the lanes. We had no box, started out with no box in the morning, 34 cars in no box. And then we were, you know, I don't know exactly the split on the door in the dragster, but a total of 224 entries for a Saturday. So, you know, that's pretty stout. That's very stout. So, you know, when Wayne's smiling, we're all smiling. And when Vince is smiling, that's even better. So again, I'm just, you know, a co-helper. I'm a guy who wants to fill in the voids and hand out ice cream. And you can pick on me all you want. It's okay, because that's what it's about. I mean, you go to the drag strip, it's about family, it's about fun. But at the same time, you're looking around. And I don't know if you saw some of the time slips and some of the runs. They were like, there were zeros marginal racing where they had to go all the way off the computer to figure out the winner. So that gives you an idea of the caliber of race that the 10K is.
Very cool. Then you guys, obviously you ran a little bit late because, as everybody knows, at Lebanon Valley at 5 o'clock, the drag racing stops because the dirt track gets rolling. So you carried over into Sunday. You finished up Saturday on Sunday morning. How'd that go?
It went great. We did have a little mishap, and thank God both drivers were okay. That was right out of the gate. Richie Forbes and Jackson Warder got in a little mishap down on the big end, had wrecked a couple cars. But again, kudos to the safety equipment, kudos to the crew down there, and got everything taken care of. Drivers were checked out. And we moved on with the race. Unfortunately, funny part, not funny part, but Jackson comes up. Now Jackson barrel rolls his car like 7 times. Car's, you know, sitting on a flatbed, and he comes flying up in the golf cart. He says, "Hey, I won that race. I got a car I can borrow. I'm in, right?" And I looked at him like, "What?" You know, like, first off, and Vince comes out, he goes, "What are you doing?" And first off, yes, we want everybody to be in. We're a safety. Hello. We told them, you got to get cleared by medical, and you got to get cleared by Wayne. That is their call, and that's it. 15 minutes later, he got cleared by everybody, and he says, "So where do we stand?" And I said, "If you're legally, legitimately cleared, then get in a car and let's go." So Jackson, from one end of the track to the other, unfortunately, he did go out the next round. But, you know, you gain a lot of respect to the drivers, and of us as well. Makes you think and be happy that the safety equipment's in place. So moving forward, we moved on through the rounds. We took our no box winner. Our no box winner was Mason Fix, who came from Rochester, I believe, or the Buffalo area, who in my eyes, when I see him pull in, it's an oh boy moment, because you're like, this kid is stout. He's a great racer. And he won box. So we end up doing 2 rounds he won no box. And then we went 2 rounds with the dragsters as far as the big money race. And then we insert him. Now he's in the semifinals, and then he goes on to the finals, and he therefore loses by 10, 15, I believe it was, in the morning. He was a runner-up to Jamie Soracco. And he takes the money and the big check first thing in the day, as we're still running cars down the track behind us. We're doing pictures in the winner's circle. And now I tell him, go on, guys, go get ready for the next. So yeah, by 10:15, 10:30, we were done with Saturday's race.
Cool. All right, let's wrap up Sunday. You survived that far.
Wrap up Sunday. Sunday was amazing because it was nice. The weather was great again. And then once people caught on to the program, and the program being there's a lot of double entries. So where you can come up and you got one car, but you want to enter that car twice, you most certainly can. But we'll have a red car dragster, blue car dragster, double enter dragster. So if you go out first, you got a chance to cool your car down and get back in lanes for your next round. And eventually they all come together. So with that being said, some confusion on some of the drivers who are new to that. By Sunday, they were experts. So it really, it's funny because Wayne's up there. The people not, he's just trying to put it together. Like drivers, you're double entered. Yeah, but I got, they want to get back in the lanes. They don't want to miss it. And and the big thing is just waiting for the call. And Sunday, I think that was the big thing that moved us. I think it was around 6:30 we were done. But that was the one proponent is once the drivers figured out our program mixed with how Wayne wanted to call them into the lanes, it really, all you kept seeing is I get it moment. I get it now, and then after that, we start handing out envelopes full of cash. We had a lot of great side-by-side racing. We had father versus son in the semifinals, the Nichols family. Sean, the potential, I think it was Sean. There were so many Nichols families out there. Sean was the runner-up eventually because he won no box. He got inserted into the box. So as I tell drivers who are entering the no box class, you have just as much chance at the 10K as the next rest of them. So when we pushed through the field, the drivers just responded one after another. And by 6:30, I'm talking to Ray Stanton and handing him a lot of money and a big check, and the smiles on the face and the reaction of his son absolutely says it all. I mean, I think he said his wife can get something off the value meal at McDonald's. So they were a happy family. So again, winner or loser, they're all winners. And at the same time, you don't look at losers, I call them non-winners, but at the same time, it's pretty exciting when you go through a whole weekend of racing and you see a little, 12, 13-year-old kid crying for his dad and the wife smile and the family comes over. It really makes it all worthwhile.
Very cool. So, Allie, you guys have been involved with this race prior to it coming to Lebanon Valley, correct?
Yes.
How many years does DEWZEN have being a part of this event?
Well, I should say we haven't been a part of this yet. I thought you were going to say that we were a part of it before the race got announced and stuff. We were one of the first sponsors that jumped on. We were super excited to learn that this was going to be at Lebanon Valley and Vince was going to be doing his thing. And I have a note. I want to say that the big checks came out like super nice. I thought they were beautifully done, beautifully designed. I'm super jealous, not just because I didn't win one, but I just wanted to hang one up in the trailer because they came out so good.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. But we are looking forward to many more years with you guys doing this. It was a great show.
It's exciting to have you guys on board. I know Vince was pretty stacked, excited because he's like, man, it's nothing better than leaving a track, like leaving with your sponsor. Like,
yeah,
okay, it's a great start. I said, well, I want to let you know that I got us a sponsor for the no box class. So it helps, the more the big sponsor of the DEWZEN 10Ks. Then I got us a nice little name for the no box class, which will be 4 seasons.
excellent.
We had a awkward day Saturday with him. He didn't know what class he was supposed to be in. And we kind of shrugged it off like, you know what, we'll figure it out. He goes, it ain't about the money. I just want to make passes. So Sunday, he had a great day. I hand him his envelope and he goes, here's my business card. What's it going to take for me to get involved? So we already have a title sponsor. And I said, well, how would you like to be the the Four Seasons no box class. And he was like, oh, that's got a ring to it. Tell me how much I'll send a check, whatever. So that's a great feeling. And then that's not the only one. So I'm really excited about a potential 3 10Ks. So that's
awesome.
the secret's out. It was out yesterday. Vince wants to do 10, 20, 10, but we'll let him sit for a minute and soak his feet and figure that out. But right now, with the discussion of Wayne, he gave me a nod. I don't know if it's because he fell asleep because it was so late. We were tired, but it looks good for next year. No commitment dates or anything, but we're hoping it'll be a weekend without the dirt track running, because then therefore we can go Friday, Saturday all day, all night, and Sunday all day, all night. We don't want to go in. That would be 3 10s would be, then we'd have to rename everything the DEWZEN trifecta,
Yeah.
So,
The triplet 10s.
yeah, and the name's easy. It's the money and everything else. It just went so great. It's just exciting. You sit there driving around today like, wow, how great it went. And then to walk out of there with all our sponsors shows that, we're doing something right. And we just want to keep doing it and get better.
Yeah.
Like,
the more the merrier.
What's that?
The more the merrier.
Yes.
I was telling Chris earlier that we want drag racing to stay strong in this area. We want big money bracket racing in the Northeast. So the more sponsors that can step up to the plate, and if you want these races to be happening around here, we got to do something about it. The racers got to show up, which of course they will. And I know everybody at Lebanon Valley was super excited that race came there. And the Lebanon Valley locals did amazing. They did amazing at that event. So everybody was super happy that it was there, and we're just going to keep supporting it.
That's awesome, because I got to know the Nichols family. How do you not? I open up my envelope and there's 6 envelopes with all Nichols. I said, I got a bunch of Nichols in here. They're like, I go, no, not the little silver ones. But that is the fact. To get those little sponsors in there, we do some round stuff, some dial-in stuff, and some package stuff. It all adds up, and then we can maybe do some banners, and we want to make shirts. One thing we do want to start doing is making shirts, so that I could become a shirt salesman and an ice cream man and a water boy. We kept water, Chris, we kept water at the front of the staging lanes all weekend long for every driver. So I kept that thing full with ice and water all weekend. We weren't going to let them go thirsty. We wanted them to stay hydrated.